We do love to shine a spotlight on our teachers here at Houston Life, and our next guest is a fantastic mentor to his students, and he recently wrote a new book.
Yeah, he sure did. Knox Junior High School's Coach Ortiz pays homage to our beautiful city of Houston and to his father's legacy in his brand new book, Drive Slow.
One of the themes is that you want every parent to be the parent they need to be for their children, for their families.
Me and my father, we were around each other, from the beginning, but because of a divorce and because of a split, we didn't spend the time together that I would have liked to have spent with my father. He was young. They were 18 when they had me, so he was just being a kid, so to speak, but the really cool and the really neat thing is as we got a little bit older, as our relationship matured, our relationship really started to hit a sweet spot. And even just towards the end, before he passed away from COVID, we were in a beautiful spot. He was a wonderful grandfather. He loved his grandkids. We were spending a lot more time together. We were becoming best friends.
Do you feel like it truly is never too late, though, for children to reconnect with their parents?
I think what you just said, is spot on. It's never too late. If I would have held a grudge as a young man, and I would have missed out on this whole other half of the father-son experience, I think that I kind of carry that spirit.
Do you carry that spirit with you, Chris, into the classroom? Because I know you're there at Knox Junior High School up in the Woodlands.
I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this as a teacher, but it's like the relationships that we build. Nothing is going to matter that comes out of my mouth when it comes to U.S. history or basketball or track and field, unless the kids feel connected with me. So I try to establish a relationship with my kids. I want to be their friends. I want them to be able to confide in me if something's wrong. We spend 8 hours a day together. We see these kids more than their parents even, more times than not. So I want to make sure that when these kids leave, they're like, hey, Coach Ortiz is a decent guy. And I think that at the end of my career, I think that, kids will be able to say that.
Something I think is a really fun fact is that one of your students actually did the art for the book.
Oh, yes, sir. The artist's name is Riley Hollis. The neat thing is when you really get to know these kids, you can see what they're really great and where they shine. And I used to see this kid, sitting by herself, just doodling in her little drawing book. And one day I just asked, Riley, let me see, what you're doing over there. And she opened it up, and it was, a gorgeous picture of, God knows what, everything she did was gorgeous. But, we fast forward 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, who can I get to work on this project? And it struck me like a bolt of lightning. Cool thing about this kid is that she's attending art school in Toronto, and as good as she is now, she's only going to get better.
Very cool. And you were instrumental in helping to open that door of opportunity. Author, teacher, coach, mentor, Chris Ortiz, thanks so much for your time today, and thanks for being a positive role model for these young people.
What a great story.
Oh, yeah, and the illustrations in that book, iconic spots like the Astrodome, they were beautifully done. If you would like to get your hands on Coach Ortiz's book, Drive Slow, we do have a link to purchase on our website, HoustonLife.tv.